So the obvious question, you're in Vancouver. What's going on with the goaltending situation in Vancouver? Who are we going to see on game one?
Well, my bet would be Corey Schneider, but there are no, to an obvious question, there are no obvious answers from the Vancouver Canucks right now. Schneider practiced today for the first time since kind of disappearing a week ago after backstopping a big 3-1 win over the Blackhawks exactly a week ago. Came up with an undisclosed injury, a body injury, said Alain Vigneault after that game, and this is the first we've talked to him since. He told us that he was on the ice on Sunday, him and goaltending coach Rolly Melanson, along with the skills coach, in what he called a controlled environment. So what I'm imagining is that probably a series of movements and, that have series of crease movements that have come with a shot at the end, maybe some rebound situations where he follows that shot out, but nothing like today in practice where, the situations ask the body to go in a variety of directions, often on very short notice. So what he called a progression from Sunday to Monday, and the good news was he didn't look in discomfort or to be slow in any way on the ice today. Stayed out for the full practice, stayed out for a little extra work after practice with the goalie coach, and basically said that he's going to have to see how it feels tonight and this afternoon after that full practice, and they'll go from there. But even if he knows by this afternoon that he's playing on Wednesday, I don't expect us to get an answer from the Canucks. Alain Vigneault was not beating around the bush. He's always very forthcoming with us in the media in terms of his lineups and his lines, and for the most part his injuries. But he's been in playoff mode on injuries for a while, and he continued that today. He continued to go with the day-to-day, which is what Schneider repeated about a dozen times as he talked to us and actually apologized for. It's just the way it is at this time of year, and I would be surprised if we have confirmation any time before game day on Wednesday that it will be Schneider. But if I had to place bets, my bet is that it would be Corey Schneider in net to open the series against the San Jose Sharks.
So let's say Schneider's not ready to go for game 1 or 2. Luongo stands on his head, and what happens in game 3? Is there a controversy going on, or does Schneider get the nod saying he's been our guy all year and we're going to go back there?
That's a really good question. And, I wasn't quite ready to go there with my questions of them today, but I certainly did wonder if having Luongo as your backup or as the backup affected the decision even for game 1. In other words, if there was a huge gap between the two, both in terms of playoff experience and for past performance, then you'd probably take Schneider's word at, hey, I'm ready to go, and you put him in. But, given it is Roberto Luongo and given his pedigree and his history, does Corey Schneider at 90% force the coaches to make more of a decision? Do you go with Luongo feeling good, despite giving up 7 in that game on Saturday night, or do you go with Schneider if he tells you, he feels he's ready, but he admits he's not quite at 100%. So, Corey said that that's a decision that wouldn't be one he expects to make on his own, that it's going to involve the coaching staff and the trainers. Having Luongo as a cushion maybe makes it easier if there's any doubts to wait another game or two. But I know Schneider's itching to start. As for what would happen in that situation, it would have to, like you said, be stand on his head type performance to get another start. Schneider has clearly taken over as the number 1 of this team. There was a bit of back and forth earlier this season, but since mid-March, he has been the guy. He started 16 of the final 20 games, 16 of 18 before the injury. Had a .942 save percentage in that run, and kind of erased any questions about whose net this is. And barring a miraculous game 1 performance from Luongo, if Schneider is not quite ready in game 1 but is 100% ready to go in game 2, I believe they will go back to Corey Schneider.